So good morning everyone. So today here we are to discuss about harmonic oscillator as an example of canonical ensemble theory. So we'll explain a harmonic oscillator case by canonical ensemble theory. Okay. So similar session we have done for micro canonical ensemble also. In that case we have identified the fundamental volume corresponding to that, and similarly here also we'll do that. Here you can see that we have n independent harmonic oscillators are there. Okay, so we'll consider an independent harmonic oscillators here. Okay, and we know that classically when you represent the Hamiltonian corresponding to that, or the total energy associated with the system, will be equal to I equal to 1 to n half m omega square q square qi square plus pi square by 2m. Okay, so when we discussed about classical ideal gas, we didn't represent a corresponding potential energy, because that we already said that for a classical ideal gas it will be a non-interacting case, so there will be no associated potential energy. So we will be only considering the kinetic energy associated with the non-interacting particles. But in harmonic oscillator case, we know that there will be a potential energy consideration also should be executed, that is half m omega square qi square representation. Now we know that the general representation of a partition function q and v of t that we represented in the last class, that is h raised to 3n integral e raised to minus beta e d omega, where we know d omega is the phase space volume and h raised to 3n is the corresponding fundamental volume for 3n state. When d omega by h raised to 3n is there, it is the number of distinct state is represented in that. Okay, so whenever you represent a partition function, means it is the overall number of energy states. Number of energy state is represented by the partition function here. And we also know what is d omega, that is integral dq raised to 3n and dp raised to 3n. Okay, now if you consider, if you have a single particle is there, if you have a single particle, then the degree of freedom will be treated as h raised to 1 will be there, so that q1 of vt will be equal to, we'll have 1 by h integral e raised to minus beta e dq dp will be there for single particle case. Okay, now if I do supply the corresponding integration limit, so that the integration limit will be what? It will be 1 by h into 0 to infinity and 0 to infinity. Okay, e raised to minus beta. Now I can substitute the e corresponding energy here, that is 1 by 2 m omega square qi square plus pi square by 2m. Okay, into dq and dp will be there. Okay, now if I proceed with this, I can represent this is equal to 1 by h 0 to infinity e raised to minus beta m omega square q square by 2 into dq. Okay, then we'll also have 0 to infinity e raised to minus beta p square by 2m dp. Okay, so this equation, let me just keep it as equation number A. And now if I substitute, let me just say that A equal to beta m omega square by 2, and then we'll have a representation corresponding to that. For example, before coming to that, let me just give you a general representation of evaluating this equation. That is, if you have any e raised to 0 to infinity e raised to minus ax square. So it is a general equation, e raised to minus ax square dx. When evaluating, the corresponding solution will be root pi by a. Okay, with that general representation we can evaluate this one and this one, and this part of the section, if you say a equal to what, a equal to beta m omega square by 2 will be there, and which is equal to beta, if you substitute, we'll have m omega square by 2 kt will come, because beta equal to 1 by kt, and here a equal to what, it is beta by 2 m. Okay, that is equal to 1 by 2 m kt will be there. Okay, now let me just substitute with the general equation representation. Then the above equation becomes, so this above equation becomes 1 by h into, now if we substitute that, we'll have root pi by m omega square by 2 kt will be there. Okay, into, we'll have the next one, it is pi by 1 by 2 m kt. Okay, now if I reduce this one, I'll have 1 by h. This can either, I can like it as pi 2 kt by m omega square, okay, root into root pi 2 m kt divided by 1. Okay, like in this fashion I can write it as. And now if I proceed with this one, so I can write the next step like this, that is 1 by h, the remaining will be pi 2 kt by omega. Okay, because root pi 2 kt and root 2 pi kt, if you multiply, you will have pi 2 kt, and root m will get cancelled, and we'll have omega square. If you take outside the root, you will have omega. So what you will be getting is that 1 by h pi 2 kt omega, that is equal to, we can write it as 2 pi kt divided by h omega, where h is the Planck's constant. Okay, now if you represent the above representation, Qn of Vt, which I can say that Q, what is this one? This one is Q1 of Vt, this one is Q1 of Vt, and Qn of Vt, so I can write it as Qn of Vt is equal to Q1 raised to n. Okay, so this is how I will be getting the corresponding representation in this case. Okay, so and we know that when you consider a harmonic oscillator case, it is fairly distinguishable. Okay, so we can actually distinguish the corresponding representation of each particle can be distinguishable when you consider a harmonic oscillator. Okay, now here we will not be using any kind of factorial representation that we have utilized in the earlier case of classical ideal gas, where we are having a Gibbs paradox. In order to resolve that, we have introduced an n factorial in that representation. So here we are not using that n factorial here, but instead we will have Q1, I can represent as 2 pi kt was there, so that I can represent as 1 by beta h cross omega. Okay, and if I represent Qn, I already said that is Q1 raised to n. Okay, now I can write it as Qn is equal to beta h cross omega raised to minus n. Okay, so I can write like this. Hope you understand how do I write like this beta h cross, because 1 by 2 kt, here we have 2 pi kt like was representation now. So what I can 1 by kt means that is beta, okay. Then h by 2 pi represent as h cross, and then omega. Okay, so now we got the corresponding partition function, that is beta h cross omega raised to -1. So once you get the partition function, now we can find the thermodynamic relations corresponding to this one, corresponding to this harmonic oscillator. So first we will be identifying the Helmholtz energy, like Helmholtz energy. Okay, for that we know that Helmholtz energy, in order to find, so we have an equation that is minus kT ln Qn of beta. Okay, now if I represent that minus kT ln beta h cross omega raised to -n, that is Qn of beta, right? So now if you will get nkt, okay, minus n and minus kt will be there, that is nkt ln bh cross omega, like we will be get the Helmholtz energy representation. Now if I find further, if I represent this, I can notate as nkt ln h cross omega by kt, okay. Like in this fashion I can represent the Helmholtz energy notation. Okay, so this is my Helmholtz energy notation, where beta equal to what, 1 by kt. Okay, clear? Now we know that we have corresponding representation for Helmholtz energy. Then we'll have pressure value. Pressure is equal to minus dou A by dou V, at a constant number of particles and temperature. So if you do that, this part there is no representation corresponding to V, so will be 0, because when you take dou by dou V, this is a constant, so this will be 0. Now mu equal to we know that is dou A by dou N, okay, at a constant temperature and volume, that is equal to kT ln h cross omega by kt, because we have to differentiate with respect to dou by dou n, so this will be kt ln h cross omega by kt. Okay, now the next part is the important part, that is about entropy. So entropy is represented as dou A by dou T at constant number of particles and volume. So that is equal to, when you do that, nkt into kt by h cross omega into h cross omega by k in minus 1 by t square plus ln h cross omega by kt into nk will be there, because here we have to differentiate with respect to dou by dou t. So we have to differentiate first ln h cross omega by kt, then we have to differentiate nkt. That's why we have done as a product rule representation. So this kt by h cross omega, we got it by dou t of ln h cross omega kt, that is you will be getting 1 by h cross omega by kt, so that is kt by h cross omega. So into, then we have to take h cross omega by k are treated as constant, then you have to evaluate minus 1 by t square. Okay, so that's what we represented like this. And now if you do further, here you can actually cancel this h cross omega you can cancel, and k you can actually cancel. Okay, then we'll have t square and t square you can cancel. Okay, so almost you can, when you solve this one this one, you will be getting minus nk. Okay, so here will be have a minus as well, minus dou A by dou t, so there will be a minus, so minus nk plus ln h cross omega by kT minus, okay, for that into nk will be the first. Now if I multiply with the minus, then I'll be having, if you take minus nk outside, so we'll have ln h cross omega kt minus 1 will be there. Okay, so this is how I'll be getting if I do solve that. And now we'll have entropy S is equal to, I'll be getting minus nk ln h cross omega by kt minus 1. Okay, so this is how I'll be getting the entropy representation corresponding to an harmonic oscillator case. Okay, now we will try to understand what is the corresponding internal energy. Once you get the entropy, then you can actually find the internal energy from Helmholtz energy plus Ts, A plus Ts, that is equal to nkt, okay, nkt ln, let me just put it in the bracket, nkt ln h cross omega by kt minus nkt ln h cross omega by kt plus nkt. Okay, this is how I got Ts, where S is the entropy, T is the temperature. So when you substitute that, you will be getting correspondingly like this. And now if you, this two you can actually cancel out, then you will be having U will be equal to what you will be getting, nkt here. Okay, nkt. So this is your U. Okay, I'm not cancelling out because when I present the note, so it is difficult to understand. That's why I'm not cancelling out each representation here. Okay, so you just understand, when you solve that, that is U equal to nkt representation will get. So we got the internal energy that is equal to nkt corresponding to an harmonic oscillator. Now the next one is the specific heat capacity. Okay, specific heat capacity at constant volume, that is Cv equal to, we know that dou U by dou T at constant volume. So that is equal to, we'll get Nk, because dou U means nkt. So when you do that, you will be getting that. And Cp equal to dou H by dou T at constant pressure. Okay, so we have dou U, so we will be having dou U by dou T plus dou PV by dou T. Okay, so that is equal to, we'll get correspondingly, we'll get dou U by dou T will be remaining here. So dou U by dou T equal to Nk. Okay, so in this case what we understood is that Cv equal to Cp equal to Nk is the corresponding value. Okay, okay, so we'll got the specific heat capacity and specific heat capacity at constant pressure, both will be equal in this case, because here we can see that this pressure notation we already identified, pressure is equal to 0. Okay, when you put into that, this term will go 0. Okay, so we'll be having dou U by dou T only in this case. Okay, so that's why we got the representation like this in this case. Okay, so this is about the classical theory explanation corresponding to harmonic oscillator. Okay, so the energy we have represented as Hamiltonian there. Now when you come to the quantum theory, we know that there is a quantum theory representation also corresponding to harmonic oscillator. Okay, in that case we'll have the energy En is equal to, it's a quantized energy, that is equal to 1 by n half h cross omega. Okay, and where n equal to 0, 1, 2, etc. like that. And now if I come to the partition function representation here, so I could represent this is equal to, for example, q1 equal to, let me have n equal to 0 to infinity. Okay, so in that case e raised to minus beta en will be there, and we have the representation that is sigma n equal to 0 to infinity e raised to minus beta h cross omega by 2 for n equal to 1. Okay, sorry, n equal to 0. Okay, so before coming to that, let me just write it out like this, because energy we know that okay. So here we'll have En is equal to condensed energy, that is n plus half h cross omega will be there. Okay, so this is how we'll be representing that. Now we'll have, I can represent n equal to 0 to infinity. This I can separate it out, that is beta n h cross omega e raised to minus beta, okay, h cross omega by 2. Okay, so that is equal to, when you represent that, e raised to minus beta h cross omega by 2, then n equal to 0 to infinity e raised to minus beta n h cross omega, so that is equal to again e raised to minus beta h cross omega by 2, 1 divided by 1 minus e raised to minus beta h cross omega. So then q1 equal to I'll be getting as e raised to minus beta h cross omega divided by 2 divided by 1 minus e raised to minus beta h cross omega. Okay, so that is equal to, when I do represent in this fashion, so this I can represent as 1 by 2 into 2 divided by e raised to b h cross omega by 2 minus e raised to minus b h cross omega by 2. Okay, I can represent in this fashion, so that if I do that, I could represent this is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 by sine h b h cross omega by 2. Okay, so that is equal to 2 into sine, okay, so let me, that is equal to, okay, bh cross omega by 2 sine h b h cross omega by 2 raised to minus 1. So this is how you will be getting the corresponding value. And now we'll have qn equal to, we know that that is q1 raised to n. So we'll have what, we'll have e raised to minus beta h cross omega n by 2 divided by 1 minus e raised to minus beta h cross omega raised to n. So you can either represent in terms of sin h cross b, sin h b h cross omega by 2, okay, or rather you can represent e raised to minus beta h cross omega by 2 1 minus e raised to minus beta h cross omega. In that fashion also you can represent. So whichever is convenient for you, you can either represent the partition function corresponding to that. Okay, now once you got the partition function, so it is easy that you have to understand you have to find the Helmholtz energy, that is minus kT ln qn. Okay, so that is equal to minus kT ln e raised to minus beta h cross omega by 2 divided by 1 minus e raised to minus beta h cross omega raised to n. Okay, so that is equal to, if I do represent that, I will be, if you taking the logarithm, so you will have nkt, so ln of this one, that is ln of e raised to minus beta h cross omega by 2, okay, minus ln of 1 minus e raised to minus bh cross omega. Okay, so now if you do that, you will be having minus nkt, okay, logarithmic of exponential, that is minus beta h cross omega by 2, okay, and minus ln minus e raised to minus beta h cross omega. Okay, so we'll got a beta here. So when you multiply with the terms here, so what we will be getting here is that we will get is that n h cross omega by 2 and kt, if you multiply into the bracket, so the kt and beta will cancel because beta equal to 1 by kt, so we'll have n h cross omega by 2 plus nkt ln 1 minus e raised to beta h cross omega. Okay, this is how I will be getting the Helmholtz energy representation corresponding to that. Okay, so I equal to nh cross omega divided by 2 and kt ln 1 minus e raised to minus beta h cross omega. So once I get the Helmholtz energy, it is easy to find the pressure and chemical potential and the corresponding values. So we can do that as well. Okay, so here P equal to minus dou A by dou V, that is equal to at constant temperature and number of particles, that is equal to 0 because there is no representation corresponding to V, so that is will be 0. And now if you do the chemical potential, that is equal to dou A by dou N at constant temperature and volume, that is equal to, I will be getting h cross omega by 2 plus kt ln 1 minus e raised to beta h cross omega will be getting, because all the n terms will go when you dou by dou n of you will be representing. Now we need to identify about the entropy case. Okay, so now we'll be representing about entropy. So entropy S is equal to minus dou A by dou T. Okay, dou A by dou T at constant volume and number of particles. So we know that A equal to what? So A equal to, we know that A equal to nh cross omega by 2 plus nkt ln 1 minus e raised to bh cross omega. Okay, so this I just represented for a sake. So that is, if you do here minus dou by dou T of what, you have to do nkt ln 1 minus e raised to bh cross omega. Okay, this is how it will come, because nh cross omega by 2 is a constant, so your dou by dou T of that term if you take, that will be 0, So remaining will be only this representation, that's why we only represented that one. Okay, now if you do the, so we'll get minus dou by dou t of nkt ln 1 minus e raised to h cross omega by kt, because beta is 1 by kt, so I can represent like this. Okay, so this will be so this is how you will be getting that. Okay, now if you do the differentiation here, you will be getting minus into, that is minus into nkt 1 by 1 minus e raised to h cross omega by kt, okay, into minus h cross omega by kt into h cross omega by kt into 1 by t square, minus 1 by t square. Okay, then we'll have again plus we'll have ln 1 minus h cross omega by kt, okay, into nk. Okay, so this is how you'll be gonna get it for that case. Now which is equal to minus nk h cross omega by kt e raised to minus h cross omega divided by kt and divided by 1 minus e raised to minus h cross omega by kt, okay, plus nk ln 1 minus e raised to h cross omega by kt. So you will be having like this. Okay, and then if you further reduce this one, then you will be getting as nk h cross omega divided by kt, okay, 1 by e raised to h cross omega by kt minus 1 minus nk ln 1 minus e raised to h cross omega by kt, okay. So this is how you will be getting the corresponding representation for entropy. Okay, so this is bit large representation compared to our earlier representation, but you just note down this one. Okay, so once you get the entropy, it is easy to go for internal energy representation. So the internal energy is U equal to A plus Ts. Okay, so that is we'll have A equal to, that is already we know, A equal to NH cross omega by 2 plus NKT ln 1 minus beta H cross omega. Okay, this is how we'll be getting, plus Ts. Okay, here there's a T also there, Ts. So that is NKT H cross omega by kt, okay, into 1 by e raised to h cross omega by kt minus 1, okay, then minus nkt ln 1 minus eh cross omega by kt. Okay, this is how the corresponding notation will be. So further if you reduce that, there will be a lot of things you can cancel out, and finally what it remains is that nh cross omega by 2, okay, plus nh cross omega divided by eh cross omega by kt minus 1. Okay, so that you can try and solve the remaining thing. Okay, so there are many things you can cancel in the above representation. So the internal energy notation corresponding to this will be U equal to nh cross omega plus nh cross omega divided by e raised to h cross omega by kt minus 1. Okay, so that's how you will be getting the corresponding notation for internal energy. Okay, now once you get the internal energy, as usual we have to find the specific heat capacity from that. So for that we will be doing, okay, for specific heat capacity, okay, so that is constant volume, that is Cv, dou u by dou t at constant volume, that will be equal to, this will be equal to what? We will be getting nh cross omega. Okay, so u by dou t la, so we'll have, since this beta representation is there, we have to execute that. Okay, first value will be go 0, that is u equal to, we know that nh cross omega by 2, so this will go 0. Then we have to evaluate nh cross omega by e raised to h cross omega by kt minus 1. So if you evaluate that, you will get nh cross omega into minus 1 by e raised to beta h cross omega minus 1 square, okay, into e raised to beta h cross omega, okay, into minus h cross omega by kt square. Okay, because here beta means it is 1 by kt, right? So you have a representation corresponding to that, so we have to execute so in that fashion in order to resolve this problem. Okay, so either you can this you can either represent it as like this also, that is u equal to nh cross omega by 2 plus nh cross omega by e raised to beta h cross omega minus 1, that is 1 by kt is beta. Okay, so that's why we represented in that fashion. Now anyway, if you do that, Cv, you will be finally you will be getting e raised to beta h cross omega divided by e raised to beta h cross omega minus 1 square, okay, into nk h cross omega by kt whole square. Okay, so this is your Cv corresponding to that. And next we will be addressing about Cp, that is constant specific heat capacity, is constant pressure, that is dou h by dou t. Okay, that is equal to dou u plus pv, where u is the internal energy, p is the pressure, and v is the volume, and you have to take dou by dou t of u plus pv, so that you have to take basically dou u by dou t plus dou pv by dou t. Okay, when you do that, as we know that pressure is equal to 0 again. Okay, so pressure is equal to 0 again, so what do you want to basically take? Dou u by dou t you want to take, that will be, you will be getting Cv. So Cp equal to Cv again, that we explain, and we will be getting like in quantum theory as well. Okay, so that is Cp equal to Cv equal to e raised to beta h cross omega divided by e raised to beta h cross omega minus 1 square nk h cross omega by kt square. Okay, so this is our representation corresponding to that. Okay, so what we have so far done is that we have got the same kind of representation in the case of classical explanation also. Okay, so we have for harmonic oscillator we have done two way of representation. One is using classical theory, another one is using quantum theory. The main difference is that classical theory, whenever you consider the Hamiltonian or the total energy, so where you have to take sigma I equal to 0 to n half m omega q I square plus p I square by 2m, that is a kinetic energy, plus the potential energy representation, that is the total energy. So in the classical theory, so in a quantum theory where we will have a condensed energy level. So En we treated as n plus half h cross omega, and corresponding to that there will be a change in partition function in either cases. Okay, so from that partition function we are actually putting to the Helmholtz energy representation, and further once you get the Helmholtz energy you can actually find out the pressure, entropy and chemical potential. Okay, then further you can identify the internal energy and specific heat capacity associated with that. Okay, in classical theory and quantum theory, when you evaluate the specific heat capacity, it will be same as in classical theory and quantum theory notation. Okay, so that was the main inference that you will be getting from here. And you also identified different notation corresponding to harmonic oscillator, especially the thermodynamic relations in both theory. So once you get the partition function, that is Qn of Vt. Okay, so once you get the Qn of Vt, then you can actually find the Helmholtz energy A. Okay, from Helmholtz energy you can find the pressure, chemical potential and entropy. So once you get this one, okay, when you get the entropy, then you can directly find, or if you find these all parameter, pressure and entropy, once you know, then you can find the internal energy Cp and Cv notation. So that is the general exercise we have done for classical ideal gas and harmonic oscillator problems with respect to an explanation of the canonical ensemble theory representation. Okay, so mainly we will be treating these two are the example corresponding to, for example, explaining microcanonical ensemble theory and canonical ensemble theory. Okay, now we have few more addition also we need to add about canonical ensemble theory, that is about energy fluctuations, because we already said that energy will be fluctuating from another point to another point. Okay, so we'll also deal with the energy fluctuation, how the canonical ensemble theory addressing these energy fluctuation and all, that we will be discussing on the next class. And few more small addition also to be done for details also to be added to canonical ensemble theory. Okay, so with that discussion we'll be winding up today's session. We'll move on to a new section related to canonical ensemble theory on the next class. Okay, thank you for listening.